Hello, flight simmers. It's Rever here, and I am going to fly from Orlando to Nassau in the Bahamas using Active Sky Next. And we are just sitting here in our plane. All I did was load in the flight plan because that just kind of takes a while. And I figured from that point on, we'll do everything like normal and fly through Hurricane Matthew. Let's take a look real quick. This will be our flight path, and you can see all the blue, oops, yeah, there it goes, blue warnings and whatnot in here. Maybe zoom in one, yep. So here's Orlando, and we'll be heading on the World High Airways. We should be at 27,000 feet, and I figured out something. I kind of followed the flight path and put it in here and figured there's only a couple turns. So rather than going into the flight computer and entering 27 different little, if you look at all these little triangles, you know, each one of those Angie and all that, rather than typing all those in, I just did it at the points where they turn. So I'll show you that when we get back to the flight plan. So in any event, this is where we'll be going. And we do have ILS. I'm not sure if that'll help us. I figure there's probably a significant chance that we are just going to end up at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean anyway. Let me kill the speaker on the other computer. Okay, so this is what we're facing. So, yeah, good luck to us, right? But hey, I figured it'd be some fun, and yeah, good luck to us. So, at that point, what I do want to do real quick is let's go to Active Sky Next, and I brought up Nassau International. And if you look, the surface winds, 99 knots. So, I don't even think that, a variable at 99 knots, no less. So, it's not even, I don't know. Let's just see if we get it on the ground when we get there. But I think it should be an interesting test of, let's see what Active Sky looks like flying through it. Let's see if let's just see what happens. I mean, it's a pretty powerful plane. I, don't know if I would go through it anyway, but I did, I'm not using the air hauler in this episode, but I did load up this, some cargo. So I figure we got 6 doctors going to Nassau, and we got a few relief supplies, about as much as we feel like we should carry. As far as our takeoff weight, I think we're going to be the zero fuel mass. I don't know where it shows us. Right there. So the takeoff weight's going to be, is that pounds or kilograms? I think that's pounds. Yeah, that's pounds. Zero fuel mass is 44, so we got another 8,000 of fuel. So the landing mass should be around 51,000. So we're 10,000 or so below the maximum, so we should be in good shape, maybe even 11,000, but we'll see what happens. So I can close this. I'm just going to kind of close everything out. I did put this stream on like a 30-second delay. So I'm sorry for the effect of the chat, but the last time it was just so sketchy as far as the quality went. So I'm hoping that improves the quality. If it doesn't, we might even switch back. I think I can switch in mid-flight, so to speak, and we'll go from there. I didn't do anything in here yet, so let's start getting this set up. We'll get ATS going and get our barometric pressure set. This up about there. Let me zoom in a notch. Hope you guys see a bit. Get this up and sized. And I'll get this up. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Grab it up top. And I'll size this. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's get rid of it. I have this neat add-on. I've been talking about it each one, but I do really like it. Show kneeboard. There's nothing there. That's right. Open document. So any PDF document. So there's a PDF of my checklist. Come here, wiggle it around a little bit. And then I'll put it right about there. That way I could still see if I need to get to my knee board. It blocks the menu a little bit, but we don't have anything in the briefing there on this flight anyway. So let's go up to page number 5 and we'll start getting the show on the road. So we want to put the main bus to the tie position. Oh, let's open the door so people can get in, which is Shift E, which also closes my air traffic control there. We want to make sure that the parking brakes are on. We want to put the power lock there anyway. It's not on that step, but we'll turn on our position lights. Which is this. We will put the strobe to red, even though they didn't tell us that now since we're looking at it. The batteries are all on. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Down is on. We're going to turn on our radio control. We already accepted the GPS. Oh yeah, well, we'll get down to that. So this is basically saying requested ground power unit, but if you look here, they're telling you to check that you're on DC external power, which we are. Press door system. So now that we opened up the doors, come down to here, go to systems on this FMS1 display selector, and go to door systems. So that way we don't forget to close the doors before we take off, I guess. And then we want to do our altitude, set altitude. I think we're going to be about 13 feet above sea level, so this thing here isn't that accurate. Oops. We'll go to 0. We want to turn on our recirculation fan. Put our cabin temperature up a bit. And that should get that. We got the nice music playing. Passenger signs. Yep, we were definitely going to tell them to fasten their seatbelts and cut out the smoking. They're a bunch of doctors, so they probably smoke anyway. But all right. So there we go. Next step was turn the engine starts to normal. We kind of skipped that. But recirculation fan on. Bleed air to minimum, which is that switch over here. Temperature control, we're kind of skipping all over the place, aren't we? Fuel. Alright, we'll cut the fuel off. I don't know of any other way to turn it off besides that. And we could start boarding, but we don't have GSX, so we're going to pretend they're figuring it out and getting on their own. We are going to open the demisters. We are going to turn the nose steering off for pushback, mostly. Make sure the flight spoilers switches into the taxi position. We want to turn our yaw damper on. And we want to turn our anti-skid on. Alright, control lock on, which this is the control lock. Power levels the disconnect, which is, that's where it's at. Close enough. Fuel condition levers to fuel off. Yep. See, so I'm not sure, they mentioned that twice, so there must be some other way to cut the fuel. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Trim set. So elevator trim is set to this. It's kind of the default. I'm not going to put any aileron trim, but I do want to trim the rudder to the right a bit. This plane always pulls to the left. So now they want us to tune to ATIS, which disappeared when we opened the doors. So we'll get our barometric pressure in a second and set our altimeters. Oops. Alright, flight plan. We'll get into that in a second too. Get this altimeter ready.
Altimeter 2976 ILS. Runway 35 right ILS. Runway 35 left ILS. Runway 36
2976.
Runway 36 left in use. Landing and departing runway 35 right, runway 35 left, runway 36 right, runway 36 left.
That's enough of that. So we're going to be on runway 35. So let's take this one down to 2976. And we're going to switch this heading 35. I'm not sure exactly if that's right, but we'll put it to there. When we get on the runway, hopefully we'll remember to straighten that up. So we got our runway heading set. Okay, kind of jumped ahead there a little bit. So let's take a look at this real quick. So what I did was I skipped a lot of those. So we only have 5, steps at that point where we made each of the turns. So the other thing I want to do while I'm in here is put the fuel on board. So we're going to fly with 8,810 pounds of fuel, and if you watched the last episode, or one of the last episodes, I had it in kilograms, so I got everything back in pounds, but the temperature for some reason is still in Celsius. I guess I forgot to change that. Alright, so that's set. Kneeboard. Show kneeboard. Alright, so we have the route in the flight plan. The SID, we're not going to do the SID and the star. We'll just follow the whatever instructions we get for vectors or from the flight control, from air traffic control, I mean. Alright, so now they want us to contact ground for IFR clearance. Oops. I'm not skipping anything, are we? No. I like to skip whole sections of the checklist. Get our request in there real quick. In the meantime, let's move on. Never mind, she's ready for us.
Nassau Airport is filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 7,000. Departure frequency is 121.1, squawk 4515.
Read back.
Romeo cleared Nassau Airport as filed.
We're going to switch this to, what is it, 45.
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.8 when ready to taxi.
So 4515.
1739er cleared to Raleigh Airport. Filed. Fly runway heading. Climb and maintain 7,000. Departure on 121.1.
Alright, so squawk code is in. Good. So that was the next thing there. Enter squawk. Press the go around button, which is this right here. What that does is put us the go around engine settings. We also want to hit heading and altitude select so that on here we have them visible. Let's see if I can't. Can I shrink this guy? Let's see how that. No, it just skips right down to the next page. So I kind of have to leave it. It's just. Let's maybe shrink this guy a little bit. So you don't want to miss anything. Then we can move him up just a hair, so you guys can see the top. See how that works out. Okay. So to go around button FMS1, so we want to, this is the nav source. We'll switch it to FMS1, and then this selection is, we're going to use the information coming from the pilots. We can switch that over to the other, to the co-pilot. Runway heading, again, I'm not 100% sure what it is right this second, but it's close to 350. Altitude and altitude select. So there's our altitude, 7,000. MDA, set acceleration altitude. Both of these airports are relatively low, but that is we'll come here. Oops, we got to get rid of this thing. Alright, so we switched. The decision altitude will be 200 feet. I'm just thinking of landing there, but this should be 1,000. But there's no way. Wow. We'll see. It didn't look like it was actually actively raining on that radar. And you guys could probably go right this minute if you're watching this live and see what I'm talking about. So we're going to put 1010 as our decision altitude, and that'll be for a visual landing, but that's okay. It'll be our acceleration altitude, I guess. Okay, so as far, we're not going to use nav frequencies, we just use the FMS. So we'll skip that. V speeds. I didn't really calculate the V speeds, like I should have. But I'm going to put it as 110. It should be pretty close. We'll go up when we go up. And VR is usually about the same. Get that to 112. And then V2 if we lose an engine. Which I hope we don't do. And we'll just put it at 120. Not sure if that's right either, but hopefully it won't be an issue. Alright, so MDF1. Okay, so now everybody should be on board. Nav aid frequencies, we're not going to set those. We did the V speeds. Yep, so let's close the doors, Shift E, which means we'll lose our air traffic control. See why I didn't want that all the way up there? Yeah, so you know what? Let's just put this back down. You guys can see the altitude, you can see the speed, you can kind of tell, hopefully see what's up there for the most part. I'll try to describe if I change any of that. Okay, so now we're set anti-collision to red. I think we already did that. Yep. Yeah, see, contact ground, I've never requested startup, so, you know, we're not going to contact them to request startup, but APU, we want to make sure that's turned off. And we want to request a pushback, which we can do because we're not worried about air hauler. But I don't understand why you wouldn't start the engines if you're on the ground unit. So they expect you to start on batteries? You know, because they're not saying, you know... Yeah, now they're having to start before that, aren't they? So they're saying, go ahead, request the start pushback. So we can do that. But then this guy kind of talks different. Yeah, so let's just... Data, services, pushback straight.
Well, we are ready for pushback.
Let's make sure fuel cutoff. Let's put these to start and feather. Yeah. So I'm not going to release the parking brake. We'll get this guy started. Now, I know from being in these planes in real life that I've actually, I know sometimes they just start the one engine, or at least, you know, I think that has to do with taxiing in busy airports. It's probably more economic. Since we're not really paying for the fuel in real life, we'll just get them both going. Right, click, so we're number 2 started up fine. Alright, let's get number 1 started. And while we're doing that, we can release the parking brake, and they should start pushing us back. I have no idea what's behind us. Oops, building. No, can't really see too well. It doesn't look like anything's back there, though. There we go, we're getting pushed back. Cool. Alright, let's get back in there. There we go, so we can get this open and tell him to stop at some point here. This plane turns very well. And I think we probably skipped some more of our check sheet. Let's end that there. That should be about good. We'll switch this back to nav. And then I'm going to hit the electrical systems button to switch this one back to that. I will set the parking brake.
This aircraft has 6
Come on.
emergency exits.
Parking brake set. Can we get clearance at number 1?
2 at the wings and 2
Yeah, see, the way they're talking there, it's like they didn't expect us to start both engines, but
path markings on the floor lead to these
hopefully nobody gets hurt.
Southwest 1380 IFR Birmingham.
Alrighty then, so moving onwards. We got the engines, we got pushback, parking brakes on when pushback complete, condition levers to maximum. Come on. Yeah, it's kind of a wonky. The wonkiest thing about this plane is these condition levers. Now we're going to go to 10 degrees of flaps. There's our indication there that they're moving. So that's good. Alright, so now that we got everything fired up, we can turn our bus tie off.
Orbit 3705 declared Richmond Airport.
Put our windshield to normal. Bleeds are on minimum, but we'll turn them on. And by the way, I've noticed that if you don't have the bleed set right, see how it says bleed there? They'll be yellow. So why isn't that other one yellow? Usually there's a sign bleed underneath both of them. Maybe it'll come on in a few minutes. Alright, so now we want to turn our auto feather on. We want to turn our auxiliary pumps on. And our standby hydraulics on. There we go, bing, bing, bing. Now we can put our nose steering back on. We can change MDF2 to nav, but we're just going to leave that be. I don't mind seeing the electrical system, and I never look over there anyway. So we put the weather radar to standby. We're going to turn the transponder on. There we go. We're going to change the radio controls to FMS mode, Flight Management System mode. And we are not going to check the departure information or the taxi information. We'll just take care. We'll let the co-pilot do that, and then he'll put some yellow markers right in front of us where we have to go. It's a good co-pilot. So we're ready to taxi. So let's just jump ahead of that. We'll turn our taxi lights on, assuming we're going to get clearance. The takeoff warning test won't work too well, but before we get moving, we can turn the control lock off. See, this is the takeoff warning test. Oh, there it goes. I wonder if that's when the control lock... Let's do something. Control lock... sometimes that doesn't seem to work. I don't know. In any event, let's take a look down here and make sure we'll pull back on the elevator. It goes down. Or up, whichever way you look at that. Turn rudder to the left, rudder to the right. Turn left, to the right. Spoilers, ailerons, whatever you want to call them. Alright, so we are in good shape there for that. Boy, these guys are talking a lot on this radio, aren't they? Enter the actual fuel. So we do have... Oops. Let's move this over. I wonder if I shouldn't just put this down here, maybe. A few times I use it. See if that gets in the way or less in the way. So we have fuel. Did I not enter the fuel? No, there it goes. Yeah. So if we look over here, performance. Once we get in the air, we can actually read some of that stuff. And taxi lights are on, so let's actually contact them before they start talking again.
Southwest 1341 West, ready to taxi, IFR. Southwest 1341, taxi to and hold short of runway 35, left into taxiway Hotel 4 Golf,
Alright.
5 Hotel 10, contact tower on 118.45, ready.
Let's get this back up so you guys can see.
Short runway 35, left using taxiway Hotel 4 Golf, Hotel 5 Hotel 10.
Did not get my taxi request.
Orlando ground, Romeo
I didn't request it, I just shifted the
ready to taxi IFR.
shifted
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo taxi to and hold short
station
runway 36 right.
frequency.
Taxiway Echo 1 Echo Charlie Bravo 9er Bravo 10. Contact tower on 12.3.
My hat's off to professional pilots who follow all that stuff. I guess you got to have it half planned out. You got help with the co-pilot, so So let's
Taxi,
acknowledge
short,
that.
runway 36, right, via taxiway, Echo 1, Echo, Charlie, Bravo, Niner, Bravo, Bravo, 10, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
And we are ready to go. So let's take a look at, yeah, we want to go that way. Good. All right, well, we look like we're ready. So let's take the parking brake off and slowly turn and see how far away this runway is. I've been to Orlando. I can't say I remember the airport. I wasn't flying. It's, I think, a big place to have different conferences and trainings. There's quite a bit to do in Orlando. It used to just be Disney World, I guess. And now they got all kinds of... Going fast, alright. Alright, 3-6 left. Yeah, one day I'm going to sit down and try to learn these. Echo See, I would just never figure this out. So now we want to go to C. Okay, well there's a sign. Does that say C or F? Okay, there's a sign for C up here. Ooh, shoot. Thought I was in pointing mode. C. Alright, well let's see what happens. Let's slow down a bit. Okay, so C is cutting across this way.
Orlando Brown, will travel 1156 taxi to the gate. Will travel
Fast again.
1156 taxi to gate 12, Fort Green, taxiway November 3, November.
A slalom course here.
Bravo 6 Charlie, Charlie 1. Taxi to gate 12, Fort Green,
I lost track of
taxiway
where we were. So I
November
think we're on
3,
C,
November
so I guess this is
6,
C1 would be...
Charlie 1.
No, we're looking at the wrong one.
1156.
C to B9
Frontier Flight 718, continue taxi.
to B to B10.
Roger, Frontier Flight 718.
Looks like there's a few planes. I don't know if they're... Yeah, they are ahead of us, aren't they? Well, let's see what happens here.
Pacifica 4-35, request taxi to the gate. Pacifica 4-2-35, taxi to gate Golf, Niner, Green, taxiway Echo, Alpha, Juliet, Juliet 4.
Guys, I'm actually kind of nervous about this flight. Isn't that funny? Thank goodness I'm not flying a real plane.
Pacifica 4-2-35, Frontier Flight 718, hold position,
But then again, if you were in a real plane, you'd probably not fly through a hurricane unless you're a hurricane hunter. I was just reading about them today. Hats off to you guys. Be safe. They seem to do it safe. You don't hear about them crashing too much, though. I'm sure they have their incidents.
Contact tower on 12 Fort White, free one ready. Pacifica 4235, hold position, sign for the about A321, on final. Hold position, Pacifica 4235.
Taxiing, hold short runway 36 right, via taxiway Bravo 5 Bravo, Bravo 10, United 1114.
So here's Bravo.
Hold position, Frontier Flight 718.
So it doesn't look like, looks like that's guys getting off. But look at all the air traffic on the, like you guys probably can't see it. I can. Yeah, I need to find new positions for this. Maybe we could try this down here. It's probably not the worst position. Ooh, geez, not paying attention. Let's get back on track. But look at all that traffic down on that thing, if you guys can see it now. Pretty amazing. Slow down. Not that much. Yep, look, there's a, I guess that's a Boeing, right? Oh, Airbus. Alright, so we're at the hold short point.
Approaching 3-6 right.
Stop here and set our parking brake for a second.
Duck ground, Air Tran 115, taxi to the gate.
Air Tran 115, taxi to gate, call 55, using taxiway Foxtrot, Echo 2, Bravo 6, Charlie, Bravo 4.
Alright, let's
Call 55.
tune to Orlando Tower and request
Orlando
takeoff.
Tower, Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, ready for IFR departure, runway 36, right. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, cleared for takeoff, runway 36,
Alright,
right.
well that's good, except we're not quite ready, so let's put the taxi position to flight. Let's acknowledge the takeoff
Cleared for
clearance.
takeoff, runway 36,
Let's push
right.
the
Romeo,
pilot,
Echo
the
Victor,
heading
Echo
switch
Romeo.
twice. To reset whatever that was, we reset. Yep, heading select is up there. Notify the seat, put their seatbelts on for the flight attendants. Let's get rid of this one. So data, services. Nope, back. Data, cabin display. Flight attendants, welcome. Flight attendant seatbelts. So we should hear. Yep. So we hear a message there. Caution panel, no caution lights. And we want to make sure we see heading select, altitude select, go around. Let's turn our taxi lights off, our landing lights on, our wing lights and logo lights on. This into the red position.
Contact ground on 1.8.
Let's just double check that our flaps are set.
1.8 for United.
Yep, 10 degrees. Alright, let's move forward, not backwards. Let's take the parking brake off so we don't go flying forward. Yeah, I'm wondering why that other engine doesn't say bleed. I don't have a caution for it, but maybe we should. Alright, let's slow down. I was looking at the track IRs, by the way. I don't know if we'll actually get one, but we're kind of taking our sweet old time here, aren't we? Hopefully nobody lands on top of us because of it.
On runway 36, right.
Alright, so let's just take a second to get our view set. Let me hide this. And let's fly through a hurricane. Oh yeah, this beeping. Why are you beeping? Do that once in a while. Why are we? Is there that much wind?
Bombardier 498, exit runway when able.
Not yet. Alright, we're at VR.
Orlando Tower, Airbus
Let's
November
push back
6
down. Get some speed.
Crossing. Descend.
Buddy, I'm really just kind of taking off here.
Orlando Tower, make straight in, runway 35 right.
Oh, we didn't change the running head.
Airbus 2 Quebec Lima, cleared to land, runway 35 right. Follow Bombardier,
The other
your
pilot's
on
on.
runway.
Why is it jumping?
Clear of conflict.
Echo Romeo. Contact Orlando departure on 121.
Alright, well that wasn't the most pretty
Turn next taxi. Orlando
autopilot
Tower,
switch over.
1003, ready for IFR departure, runway 36 right. Southwest 1003, taxi.
These guys are talking up a storm. Well, it should be quiet theoretically. I wonder what's gonna. I don't think the traffic 360 though allows for the hurricane.
Bianca 28, Orlando
Yeah, I
Tower,
want to turn
straight in,
because
runway 35 right. Altimeter 2976. Bombardier 498. Turn next taxiway. Position and hold southwest 1003. Bianca 28.
I just can't get a word in edgewise.
Runway 35 right. Number 2.
Not one of those guys in front of me. So there's some planes
Bombardier
here.
498. Contact ground on
Let's keep turning. We seem to be clear of traffic.
Going to 121.8. Bombardier 498. Going to
Hey, we got a word in.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo
Hopefully
Romeo.
it tells us to turn to the right.
Southwest 1 Southwest 1341. Traffic is 3 o'clock, 3 miles at 10,000. Cessna 152. Report them in sight. Cessna 11 Tango. Contact Orlando approach on 119er.
So this is where the SID would come in, where you could fly that
Orlando
SID.
departure. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo is climbing through 4,700 for 7,000. Romeo
Oh
Echo
yeah, we're
Victor
getting
Echo
blown around
Romeo
pretty good.
Orlando
Oh, you know what I want to do?
Roger.
Let's get rid
Altimeter
of that.
2977.
Let's turn that down to 205.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Turn right heading 135. Resume
Yeah,
course
let's see.
navigation. Climb and maintain 7,000.
There's 135. Acknowledge instruction.
Turn right heading 135.
Yeah, look at this. We're already getting blown by Kingdom Come.
7,000. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Climb and maintain 13,000. Climb and maintain 13,000. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
They give me bigger jumps than that. Let's go back to IS. Let's lower this back to 205.
Departure, Cessna November 10,
And let's go through our checklist.
2,300, climbing 7,000.
Show D board, after takeoff, autopilot engaged, IS, gears up, flaps are up, IS, condition levers, let's take them back now. I'd like to leave them a little longer probably than you should, but put our bleed flows to normal. That would be straighten out. No, neither one of these says bleed, so we want to turn the weather radar on. Go. That'll be a big blob of red, I would imagine. Dude shine. There we go, so we rang the bell. MDF2 weather terrain. I'm not worried about terrain at all, so we'll just leave that on the electrical system there. How does it look outside the plane? Not overly bad. Weather radar doesn't seem to be showing much for some weird reason. Let's keep going on this. Bleed flow norm, autopilot to nav. Yep, let's switch over to nav before we get too far off course. Now just handoff that I just completely missed, probably because I was talking.
124.1, Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Turn left heading 013.65, Cessna 50 Delta.
Miami Center, Romeo Echo Victor.
So they should be giving us another altitude here. Can't see anything at this moment.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo, Miami Center, Roger. Altimeter 2975.
Where we at? Yeah, we can drop that down. Yeah, they wait till we get 300 away.
November 1264
This is the
X-ray with you.
would be nice to get
November
that.
1264, X-ray Miami Center, Roger. Altimeter
Plane starts leveling out, climb speed, so you have to
Romeo
have
Echo Victor Echo Romeo, climb to maintain flight level 190, 1264, X-ray, turn right heading 055.
that up. Get our IAS back to 205.
64 X-ray.
There we go, we're getting above some clouds. So, the last I looked at the radar, we should be going awful close to the...
132.65,
Sorry, guys.
64 X-ray.
Do that in life.
Climb and maintain flight level 190, Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Alright, we're over 10,000 feet. We'll probably leave the seatbelt signs.
61 uniform, have it Bombardier.
Let's let them stand up. No, we're going to leave the seatbelt signs on for this flight. How's that sound? Yeah, and then they're saying we can notify the...
Miami Center, each November 4802 North with you 12000.
November 480.
She's announcing it now that, now that we flipped that. So once we get up to cruise altitude, we'll go back to 850. Though I don't know, we may or may not do that for this flight. There we go. All right, now we're in the hurricane. inside the kneeboard. Not very exciting being in a hurricane at this moment, fortunately. And there goes the weather radars showing us some stuff. So let's switch this over, go to 240 miles since this is a relatively short flight actually. If let's close that for a second, open this one and go to performance. So we got plenty of extra fuel according to this. And we've only got 285 miles, which for this plane is not very far. I think we can put this guy back on so you guys can see what the plane's doing to keep us under control. Without that on there, you don't get a sense of really what the autopilot's doing to keep you in check. Alright, so now let's come over to here and do a weather report request from Active Sky Next. Winds aloft report. Really not, not all that much, which I think is something they were talking about with this storm strengthening. If there's not a lot of winds blowing into it, it tends to be able to just sit there and spin itself up real good. So you see the surface wind is actually higher. We're going to go into lesser winds as we get up higher, which is very unusual. So I don't know how high this storm is. I mean, it's possible, I guess, we fly right over it. I don't know. I don't know how tall these things get. Right, there's our altitude warning, I guess you'd call it. Let's get rid of that for a second. Ice detected. Yeah, so let's get the ice protection on. We don't really need to be worried about that this whole trip.
Miami Center, Cessna, November 46,
You know what we didn't do? Turn off these auxiliary fuel pumps and auto feather and all that stuff. Turn on the heaters, the windshield wipers. Alright, we can do that, 270, so we'll be right up to max that you can set this plane at. Hopefully they don't yell at us. Alright, and then we want to IAS. Let's hit altitude select. Knowledge and instruction. And we're on our way. Yeah, so let's see, what is our winds looking like? 39. I guess I can zoom in a little bit rather than popping these windows open all the time. I know when I've watched the videos, I know you guys can't quite read all of this stuff. Even though I like, because I'm sitting right in front of my monitor, it's easier for me to see. Switch to the local time. Way. Oh, what happened there? Does it do that all the time? Clock local. Yeah, 214 or 216. It's not that I don't want to fly in the dark, but I kind of wanted to see things. I'm on the east coast of the United States, and it is dark here now. So, let's make sure that back up. So I moved it to 2 p.m. this afternoon. I mean, the Active Sky Next should still be the current weather, but that way we're guaranteed to have plenty of daylight to get down there and try to land. I can take a look at my other computer here and see if what the weather looks like.
Hotel traffic in sight.
Miami Center,
My old computer I use for
November 5140, Miami Center, Roger, altimeter 2967.
radar, weather stations. There's something else to mention too. When I was setting this whole thing up, they didn't even have on active sky where you could select like Nassau or any of these airports. Berry Islands. There's Nassau. Oh, there it is. Nassau kind of looks like it's out of the worst of the rain at this point. Let's see, and they don't seem to have a weather station on the Wonder map that I usually look at. Probably broke it. Yeah, we're flying pretty much right through the center of this thing, so. But yeah, they don't have like wind readings or, you know, they don't have any weather stations for any of those islands. Well, no, there's one. What's this one say? The Berry Islands, which is like north of Nassau. They're saying that they have 76-mile-per-hour winds. Wonderful. So that's enough of that. So how does our stream look? Does it look better this time? Or is it stuttery like it was the last time? Yeah, so this is just a big... This looks like clear skies ahead of us. This is where, you know, we have a speed of 205, but we start climbing so awful slow that what I think I'll do is actually take this down. What's up? Take this down to 200. So what that'll do is have the plane lower its nose a little bit. Or, I'm sorry, raise the nose a little bit. So we should climb a little bit more, but we'll lose a little bit of speed. So that way we get up there just a bit faster. But yeah, this is a little bit less exciting than I was hoping for. Not that landing at Nassau is going to be any great joy, but it's certainly not, you know, certainly not a huge adventure at this moment.
Contact Miami Center on 132.25.
Point 132.25. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Miami Center Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo is climbing through plane level 234 for plane level 2.
We're almost to our first turn.
Miami Center Roger.
And 240 miles would be
Miami Center November
pretty much where that arc is, so I can see it there. It only looks like one band of rain between here and there.
Altimeter 2963.
Yeah, so it looks like we kind of got right above it. What's everybody so panicked about? This doesn't look like any worse than most of the storms that we fly through in FSX.
Miami Center, Rummet, November 5118 Delta, with you 10,000. Rummet, November 5118 Delta, Miami Center, Roger. Altimeter 2968, Mall 902 Quebec. Contact Palm Beach, approach on 128.3. Hyper 420, traffic is 4 o'clock, 4 miles at 3,900. Mall M7, report them in sight. Hyper 420, have it, Mall M7 in sight.
Miami Center Mall, November 92340, is at 3,700, descending 2,000.
Mall, November 92340, Miami Center, Roger. Altimeter 2961. Mall 340, turn left heading
Turn left heading 120, small 340.
Miami Center, Cessna November 4150 Hotel, which to?
Cessna November 4150 Hotel, Miami Center, Roger. Altimeter 2959. Cessna 50 Hotel, turn left heading 085.
Turn left heading 085, Cessna 50 Hotel.
Okay.
H23 Yankee, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at 90,100.
We're going to come down with 35 degrees of flaps.
Turn right heading
Hopefully.
030.
There are some tall clouds here.
Turn right heading 030, Cessna 7907.
So I wonder if at some point you would see, like, and that doesn't even look cloudy out that way. Here goes our first turn.
Viper, November 15516, 3 miles southwest of Vero Beach. Request IFR to Miami, ready to copy. Viper, November 15516 is clear to Miami.
So at this point, we're, should be getting close to the water. See,
Viper, November 15516.
we're still over Florida, I think.
Miami Airport is filed. Clock 1077. Viper 516, readback correct. Radar contact 2400. Altimeter 2959. Turn left and heading
So we got a 36 knot headwind. That's nothing, nothing all that unusual. So wind's aloft. Yeah, 47 on the ground. Nothing too bad so far. Though it is kind of odd that we're only, it's, the higher up you go, the less wind you get. I don't know if that's normal. Let's do current active weather. Yeah, nothing too bad so far. KVRB. Oh yeah, that's another thing to mention. If you happen to be flying in this area, I'm not so sure about KVRB, but when I did go to Active Sky Next, and I went to put in this flight plan, see I have TVR, and if you go to Flight Planner, let's just do Find Route, I'll cancel out of this. See that says VRB, but the VOR station there is now called TRV. So I did figure that one out. Sometimes I don't bother. Alright, so let's close that up. And we do have some taller clouds here, don't we? Definitely weather. There's no doubt about that. Not sure what happens when we get to these taller clouds. I mean, that's 27,000 feet yet. Nah, we're just climbing slower than sin, too. Let's knock down that indicated airspeed a little bit more. Take it down to 195. This is probably because we got more cargo than I've been flying on my around the world live streams, so it doesn't take us 3 years to get up to altitude. And there's our flight data performance, I should say. So we got a lot of extra fuel, probably way too much. I went off of the fuel plan, but I don't know, the SimBrief fuel plan, and then I added like 25%, so 8,800 is a lot of fuel for this plane to go 300 and some miles, but I wasn't sure what kind of headwinds, and I thought, well, I don't really need the added stress of worrying about how much fuel I have. And like I said, we're 10,000 under weight anyway, so we should be in pretty good shape at that point. I want to check something real quick. We have sound. I'm not sure how to actually... I'm not hearing any sound out of these other speakers, and I definitely should be getting some. So I'm thinking this whole time we haven't had sound. Not speakers, microphone. All right, let's see if that actually does something for us. I don't know how that got off of there, other than I did have some issues. All right, we'll apply that, and hopefully now I can understand. Yep. I need a better way of checking this before I actually go live streaming it. So let me see if we get some sound here. Probably hear an echo if we do. I can see the stream is maybe working. Oh, we're paused. Let's unpause. Yep, I can see myself selecting the sound thing. Yeah, there's a fair delay. It looks like the stream looks a lot better than it did. Let's see what happens here. But I'm not hearing any sound. You would think I'd at least hear something, you know?
Fort Niner Romeo, traffic is 8 o'clock, 1 mile at 2000. Cessna 152, report them at sight. Cessna 50 Hotel, turn left heading
Yep, no
085.
sound. Why don't we have any sound? Let's see if we can't. Okay, so let's try this one. Does that work? No, I'm not hearing any sound. Isn't that a bummer? I don't want to change that, I don't think. Nope, never messed with this. How to use silence detection. I don't need all that. No, I don't need silence detection. I need audio. So it's like my speakers just aren't, or the microphone's just not working. It's been very reliable. Let's try a little test like this. Let's see if we hit record. Can I hear myself talking? Yeah, that's recording. All right, let's close that. So we're just not broadcasting sound that I can hear. I don't think there's a stream option that would cut off my sound. And let's just do something else here. Let's just go to some other video or something and make sure the speakers.
What?
Yeah,
You haven't played?
that's not the problem. Yep, so I cannot hear sound. So I hope you guys are hearing sound. I would understand if you're not. Stream options, optimize for less buffer, added delay, fine. Archive list. Yeah, it seems like this thing is just not picking up the speaker. That's a bummer. Yeah, we don't want to use silence detection. And that would be it. Unless I start and stop this whole thing. Like I said, this has been working fine. Do we have a setting here? I can hear, now I can see that there. So I'm going to assume that there's sound. I mean, you can see here I have it set, and this thing's broadcasting it. It's almost like it's not getting picked up by YouTube for some reason. And streaming live, there's no message, nothing dropped. All right, well, I don't understand why I can't hear the sound on the other computer. I hope you guys can. I will continue because, hey, even if I wasn't recording, I'd probably still want to fly this flight, so hopefully it will work out with YouTube before the end. I can try to see. Yeah, stream healthy. Yeah, that is odd. Normally I have to mute the speakers because I hear them, and I don't watch it because I want to see the video. I watch it because it's the way I see your guys' chats. Stream health. Stream is excellent. Yep. So everything is good on the stream.
American Pacific 8245. Turn right, heading 265.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let me see.
611, you're 72 miles.
Close that.
Turn right, heading
Try to reopen it.
Expect vector, GPS, runway 15. Approach, circle below it, runway 6. Turn right, heading 1.
Yeah, I got the microphone muted on the other computer.
Runway 15, approach, circle to land, runway 6, H611.
Yep. Sorry guys about all that. Oh, come on. Alright, sorry about that. All of my sound issues were apparently because the stream coming back to me didn't have sound for some odd reason. So as soon as I reloaded it the way you guys would watch it, then I have sound. So there you go. You got a little insight into. Oh, we're at 27,000 feet, and let's bring the control levers back to 850. See what that does for us. And we'll just leave them at full throttle. We got plenty of fuel. And as long as I'm in these clouds, I may cheat a little bit and fast forward, but I'm not going to hesitate to slow back down again a little bit.
132.45 for American 3483.
Can't see anything.
Cessna 49er, Romeo, airport, turn right, hit orbit 5200, descend and maintain 2000. Orbit 5200, going to 132.15, orbit 5200.
Got lightning. We're at 4 times speed. Now we're getting into 54 mile per hour winds. So let's slow down a little bit. We're going to hand over to Miami Center. Look, now we're in 71 mile per hour winds. Tune to Miami Center. Okay, contact Miami Center.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, with you. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Miami Center, Roger. Orbit 5200, turn right heading 190. Turn right heading 190, orbit 5200.
96 mile per hour winds to the side. Look at that. Look at the planes trying to stay on course. We're doing 116. Well, you know what? I don't know how much I want to worry about that, but Let's just see what our barometric pressure is now.
November 86611
Oh, look at that, 942. Jeez, I think that's the lowest pressure I've been in.
611, descend and maintain 2000.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Descend and maintain 2000.
Let's turn this one to 942 as well, I guess.
flight cabin services to the so which is one. Is everything else
Descend and maintain flight level 270. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
See how that winds aloft changed. Yeah, look at that, 99. So we must be close to something. Look, there's ice on the windshield. I thought I had the ice protection on. Yeah, look, we have the ice on. Let's put this to fast, though I'm not sure what effect that's going to have.
Towards 500 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 270. Orbit 5200.
I'll do that. I'm just going to turn my altitude indicator down so you can learn about it.
Heading 180, orbit 5200.
You have 98 mile per hour winds. Kind of crazy.
Back to that. Altimeter 2932. Descend and maintain flight level.
Let's do altitude select.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. 1996. Turn right heading
Vertical speed a
085.
little bit more.
Turn right heading 085. 1996.
It does look like we're all iced up, but I don't understand why. See
Orbit
that?
5200. Traffic is 1 o'clock.
What don't I have on?
Boeing 757. Support them in sight.
Why are we all iced up, but I have my de-ice stuff on? Let's put that to warm up.
1996. Traffic is 9 o'clock. 3 miles. 2000. Boeing 737. Support them in sight. Orbit 5200. Contact Palm
Those
Beach
windshield
approach.
wipers.
Sun
And
124.6.
the side defrost is on.
Going to 124.6.
Let's pop around the plane and see
1996.
what we can't see. Oh, we still got our landing lights on. Good lord. Let's go turn those off.
Miami Center, Pacifica 3959er, with you, 5000.
Pacifica 3959er, Miami Center, roger. Altimeter 2929er. Pacifica 3959er, turn left
Yeah,
heading
so the boots are on, the pedostatic heater's on. This is definitely on, right?
Pacifica 3959er.
Is it just that we're in the clouds? But it looked like ice. Looks like ice on that windshield. Maybe this is just... It's just the ice. Do planes really put on their wipers when they're 27,000 feet? I would think not.
turn left heading 040.
I think they'd rip off or something. That's got to be a heck of a windshield
Turn left
wiper.
heading
Right?
0401996. Pacifica 3959er, turn right heading 095.
Turn on some lights.
Turn right
Let's get
heading
a little dark
095.
in here.
Pacifica 3959er.
Pacifica 3959er, traffic is 8 o'clock, 4 miles. 2000, Boeing 737, report them in
Just in
sight.
case it's a little dark for you guys to see.
Pacifica 3959er, traffic in sight.
Doing 230 knots.
1996, turn right heading 085.
Wind speed 99. Now I'm wondering if that's some kind of a maximum.
1996.
So I think this storm has more than that. We'll just keep this open. Yeah, look, see, it's. I'm wondering. Look, 99's all the way across the board. So is that just the maximum, or it can't be a coincidence that this is all 99? You know? Yeah, look at that. We're good. We're a good ways off.
090, world travel diner 466.
Our ground speed's 310, so we're making some darn good time.
Heading 050.
Oh, look at that.
Turn left.
Ah, are we in the center of the hurricane?
Pacific on 8959er.
I don't know. Is that what that was? It would probably be about this point in the trip. Go back and look
Romeo,
back.
to go Victor, to go Romeo. Contact Miami.
Yeah, I mean, as we get, this should be about the,
Turn left heading 040. Turn left heading 0401.
Acknowledge that. Oops.
Pacifica 3959er.
Gotta acknowledge it over here.
134.2. Turn Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Turn right heading 095. Miami Center, Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, with you. Orbit
Turn our range down.
above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 180. Romeo, Echo
So what is, let's go back.
Miami Center, roger.
Current active weather. Yeah, I'm wondering if it just doesn't max out at 99.
Orbit 300.
As in, you're kind of an idiot for flying in it anyway at that point, you know? Again, no offense to the guys who do this. Yeah, heavy rain. That's on the ground. Wind variable from, geez, look at that, 8 from the south all the way to the north. That's crazy. Broken at 3,000, overcast at 25,000. Man, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, so I'm thinking 99 is just like the most they'll give us. Yeah, so you learn something new with that. Crazy weather. Doesn't make for the most exciting flight, though, does it? The clouds, anyway. Like I said, we should get out of the clouds, I would think. Looks like there's less rain to the south of the whole thing, so.
Flight level 180, altimeter 2877.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, orbit 300.
Yeah, we have a little turn coming up, but not much. 25 miles. And I guess because it's not a direct headwind, we seem to be doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm not sure how big, like, the zones of active sky next are, but... we'll see. Yeah, everything seems to be doing pretty well. I don't understand why it doesn't have the bleeds. Usually it tells you bleeds. Oh, you want to be?
Orbit 300, toward 1,100 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 180, altimeter 2881.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, orbit 300.
Yeah, well, I'm going to fast forward. As exciting as it is in some ways, it's pretty stagnant at this exact moment. As soon as something happens, I will stop fast forwarding a bit.
Orbit 300, toward 1,100.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, orbit 300.
See some lightning flashing, but
Orbit 300, toward 1,100.
Miami Center.
1,996.
yeah, so I guess it's a little disappointing that the thing maxes out at 99 miles an hour.
Starlink 6 Foxtrot Romeo.
But I can understand it's probably a programming thing.
Orbit 300.
When you're doing this many calculations, it doesn't hurt to...
1,996.
Turn right heading Miami Center.
doesn't hurt to minimize the size of variables. Okay, let's slow down again, see what's happening here. Okay, so this is kind of like a goofiness. You wouldn't think you'd come out and see that. Yeah, so we don't have wind, we don't have ice on this windshield, so let's see what the closest airport is here. Put you back this so you guys can see that. Add-ons. Closest weather station, MYGF. It also would be nice if they told you what the closest one was. We probably... Can't we get that from here? List. Yeah, MYGF. What is...
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please acknowledge.
Oh, what did you want me to do?
Turn left, heading 090. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
No, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to stay with my flight computer here. Whatever. Speed is really creeping up for some reason. Let's back off on the throttles a little bit. But then the question is...
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please expedite your turn to heading 090. Bombardier, Alpha Golf 2. Climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230.
Yeah, so, well, I guess we should follow what he says. So let's go to 090.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, I'm doing
turn
it.
to heading 090.
I think this might be, you know, part of the problem is that I didn't... Oops, now we're back in the clouds magically. So you wonder if, you know, like, I was wondering, like, you know, if we're near this, it's sort of strange that we would have flown in the clouds like that. So what is the wind speed? 99, directly in our faces. So yeah, look at our ground speed. Our ground speed's dropped down to 240. So the flight plan that Flight Sim has, the reason he's yelling at me about that is because it's a different
Romeo,
flight
Echo, Victor,
plan.
Echo, Romeo. Turn right to heading 135. Resume on navigation. Turn right heading 135. Resume on navigation. Romeo, Echo, Victor,
Yes, I don't really
Echo,
like those
Romeo.
screens being down in this bottom right. Alright, so what are we doing? We're going to 135.
Orbit 7690. Contact Miami Center on 132.15.
We'll actually put it back. See, if we put it back on nav, it's going to bring us back over that 3 miles, and then he's probably going to yell at us again. So we might just...
Foxtrot, Romeo, Foxtrot. Turn left heading 245.
Turn left heading 245. Cessna,
Yeah, so
Foxtrot,
there's our
Romeo,
ground speed
Foxtrot.
going up. So we might just cancel the IFR. We only have... Oh, probably at what? Well, we can look here. 100 and some miles to go. Not too many. Yep, 109. So, you know, we should actually have to start flying the plane again here pretty shortly. Hopefully the flight pass... I mean, I know that Hanks, which is the next... If we look here, flight plan... Oops, flight plan... Oh. What's going on there? It's like the whole thing broke. Interesting. There it goes. This, okay, Hanks.
Heading 175.
That is on the...
Turn left heading 175. Cessna,
That
Foxtrot,
is on the
Romeo,
flight
Foxtrot.
plan that's inside of the flight sim. So as we get closer to this, he might not yell at us so much for being off course. Look at our speed going way up again. Why is our speed so high up?
Climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330.
What is our barometric pressure? Because that can have an effect on that too.
Cessna Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot. Turn left heading 110.
Turn left heading 110.
Look, they're not giving us a barometric pressure.
Cessna Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot. Turn left heading 075.
Closest active weather station, no barometric pressure.
Cessna Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
Yeah. That's strange. Alright, well, it's not one problem, it's another, right? So we're just buzzing along. Let's speed back up again, I guess. Still got a 98 headwind now. So we're getting around. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought would happen. So that we're kind of like skirting around the north and then the east of the eye. So now that these winds are coming from the what? You know, a little more from the south, almost. You know, they're pretty much coming from the south. So let's do winds aloft again. Yep. So now they're around to 156. So we're flying, you know, into the right-hand side of the storm. And yeah, our ground speed's down to 235. Let's increase our. Let's go full throttle again and see what happens. I'm not sure why we got. I wonder if it's just because the barometric pressure is so low. Barometric pressure there. There it is. 2796. Really? Look at that. That is low. That's why we're going so fast. 2796. That's incredible.
Contact Nassau Center on 125.7.
Going to 125.7.
There we go. 2796.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. You are 800 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 270.
Yeah, but I'm not really, am I? Because of my barometric pressure being so low.
Descend and maintain flight level 270. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Yeah, now you can see us really bouncing around now that we're out of the clouds. It's kind of hard to tell when you don't have a frame of reference, but yeah, so he's going to yell at me again. So we're 800 above. Let's see if he yells at me another time now that I got the barometric pressure set, quote, right. So now it's already going back up. So we're
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Please expedite your descent to flight level 270.
Alright, so he's saying we're above it. So let's go, let's drop another 800 feet. Be about there. Do it at 1,000 feet per minute. So yeah, I'm wondering how.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo
Yeah,
Please
we're
expedite your
working
descent
on
to flight level 270.
it. Now look at our speeds all the way down like this. But the barometric pressure is changing like incredibly. See, now it's all the way up to 812, 2812. That's a lot of change. Your ears would be popping just flying through this thing, I would guess. We're really getting bounced around. We can't see it for the clouds, but you can see the way this autopilot's moving that yoke. Like, here's the flight controls. What are we doing? Yeah, look at it just wobbling around here. And I guess you guys can see it here better. These flight controls are bouncing all over too. I would be exhausted if you had to fly this like manually through this whole thing. Let's see. at that. Now it's already up to 219. So Active Sky Next, I don't know. I guess it could get an update as you fly through every certain position. But I'm kind of impressed with that aspect of it, that the barometric pressure would be updated that often. Yeah, look, we're full throttle. Yeah, now the winds are definitely from like pretty much the south at 99, which seems to be the maximum. Here we go, popping out of the clouds again for a minute.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. We're 500 below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 270.
Alright, let's do that one then.
Miami Center, Beach, Charlie 6,
Alright, so we'll go
Romeo,
climb back
Foxtrot
up.
at 9,600, climbing 1000.
Beach, Charlie 6, Foxtrot, Romeo, Foxtrot, Miami Center, Roger, altimeter 2800.
Climb and maintain flight level 270. Romeo, Echo, Victor,
So
Echo,
let's
Romeo.
come back here and take a
Romeo,
look.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Descend and maintain 15,000.
Yep, 27. Oops, I meant to acknowledge
Descend
that.
and maintain 15,000. Romeo,
Alright,
Echo,
so let's
Victor, Echo, Romeo.
get the vertical speed.
Contact Nassau Center on 125.7.
Alright, this is when it's going to start getting interesting, I think.
125.7, orbit 7, port 1.
So what do we want, 15,000? Let's drop back the throttles a bit. It's down to 15,000.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please expedite your descent to 15,000.
Vertical speed.
Miami Center, SkyWest 54905, descent flight level 228,
What did I hit there?
flight
But I
level
missed something.
340.
SkyWest 5,
Alright, so we're on altitude select.
Roger.
We're descending. Put our throttles to about
Romeo,
12.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please expedite your descent
well,
to 15,000.
I'm now descending pretty good, buddy. Leave me alone. We'll get there.
Miami Center, World Travel 5354, with you, flight level 321.
Beach, Foxtrot, Romeo,
Yeah, this,
Foxtrot. Climb and
we're
maintain
coming back out of the eye of the storm, so in some ways it was, not too exciting, but now the next thing is, I don't know what this, with that barometric pressure down below 28, you know that's
Miami Center,
pretty incredible.
with you.
Headboard 118, Miami Center, Roger, altimeter 2910.
Yeah, so even,
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
go.
You are 6 miles northwest of turnpike, heading 195, descend and maintain 15,000. Expect vectors ILS, runway 14, approach, circle to land, runway 27.
circle, I don't know what that means. I never got an instruction like
Miami
that
Center,
before. But
Let's
let's do heading select while we descend.
Pacific 4246, Miami Center, Roger.
Circle to land, runway 27. Alright, well, let's acknowledge that.
105, descend and maintain 15,000.
Expect vectors ILS, runway 14, approach, circle to land, runway 27.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, well, can we select another approach?
Miami Center, US Air 1914 is at flight level 289, climbing flight level 360. US Air 1914, Miami Center, Roger.
I don't understand what that instruction means. But they got a lot of approaches here. See, visual. So I guess they want us to land on 27. I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do. This is all new to me as far as I never got that circle to land ILS. Alright, well let's we need to figure out what the ILS heading is. We don't have it on the briefing here. So let's real quick
left heading 155. Turn
Acknowledge
left
that.
heading 155.
Let's go get our...
Echo Victor, Echo Romeo.
The plane's doing pretty well, considering we're at 99-mile-per-hour winds. But I guess, you know, at the end of the day, planes are made to fly in the wind. It would more be the wind shear and changes. All right, so let's pause this for a second. Let's come up to here. That's the wrong one. Let's come up to here. Let's close those. Sky vector. Let's come to this airport. Linden. ILS frequency. Do they not have it listed here? Navigational aids. What they do, looks like they have it on here, don't they? But I don't know what the ILS frequency is. So let's do the charts. IFR chart. Was that the chart over there? I never even noticed all that. So is that the ILS frequency? Or is that the... Well, we could try it, but I don't really... Let's hover over that. Alright, come on, ILS frequency. It can't be that hard. I'm just missing it, aren't I? I don't see it there. I'm not seeing an ILS frequency anywhere here. Alright, well, let's go back to flying. While we're flying,
Or 300 above your assigned altitude.
I can try to work it out on this other computer.
Proceed on course. Descend and maintain flight level 340. Skywest 549
NY.
or 300 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 360. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Contact Nassau Center on 125.7.
Alright, acknowledge that.
125.7. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Nassau
Alright.
Center, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Descent flight level 202, descending 15,000.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Nassau Center, Roger.
Alright. I found more. ATIS, Nassau ground,
Romeo,
clearance.
Echo, Victor, Echo,
There it is.
Romeo. Turn right heading
That's the
195.
4. What do you want me to do? Right? 195? Okay.
Turn right heading 195. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, we still got 99-mile-per-hour winds. Runway 14, magnetic is 143, so let's get that on. Can I change my course?
Altimeter setting.
Alright, we got a lot going on here. Alright, 2870. Altimeter setting. Since the ground control doesn't give
Romeo,
it to you
Echo,
and you
Victor,
can't
Echo,
request
Romeo.
it.
Turn left heading 160.
Turn left heading 160. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo,
I really
Romeo.
don't need you like
Altimeter setting.
vectoring me in constantly. How are we? Okay, there's our buzz. I was wondering if we're gonna hit that altitude yet. Why is nobody telling me the ILS frequency of this airport?
Altimeter setting.
I'm not sure what else to do about it. We're gonna have to not worry about the altimeter
Romeo,
later.
Echo Romeo. Descend and maintain 3000. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango.
Alright.
Nassau approach on 121.0.
Let's send and maintain
Join at
3000.
121.0. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Descend and maintain 3000. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Altimeter setting.
Mall 85 Papa. Contact
Alright.
Nassau approach on 121.0.
Figures I have this much trouble when I'm
121.0. Mall 85
in one of the harder situations I'm ever in. You know? Alright, well that
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Turn right heading
Altimeter
195.
she's just gonna sit there and annoy me the whole time, trying to keep me on this course and this
Turn
wind.
right heading 195. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Which way's the wind going? So let's turn extra. Let's try 210. Maybe that'll keep me closer to her path she wants me on.
Altimeter setting.
I'll check the altimeter when I figure out the ILS frequency.
Nassau Center, Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango, with you 10 pounds.
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Turn left heading 155. Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango. Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2952.
Yeah, we may be coming in here without the help of ILS, which is
Altimeter setting.
not really making me happy at this minute.
Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
121.0 for Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango.
She's just going to annoy me the whole way with this
Turn
change
left
heading
heading
thing,
155.
especially while I'm not paying
Romeo
attention
Echo
because I'm trying to
Victor
figure
Echo
out.
Romeo.
Altimeter setting.
Nassau Center, Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango, with you.
Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango. Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2951. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
I'm finding something here that
Join
might
at
help me.
121.0. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango.
Altimeter setting.
I'm going to try 12.7, but I think that's not the ILS. Sid. Star. Tower, Nassau departure, ATIS.
Altimeter setting.
Takeoff with there's runway 14. Pretty cool, all the information that's available to us flight simmers. Because
Altimeter setting.
110.1. Thank goodness. Alright, so 110.1. Alright, so now can we select another approach? Just ILS 14, swing around and land on 27.
Airwave 90140. Contact Miami Center on 134.2.
I'm just going to be happy to get it
Join
on
at
the ground, to be honest.
134.2. Airway
Altimeter
90140.
setting.
Alright, now let's deal with her.
Go Romeo. Turn right heading 200.
Alright, and we're getting to be over speed here, so we'll back down on the Might have to slow down our descent.
Juliet Hotel Tango with you 10,000.
I don't know why the planes. Well, I guess I got some more weight, but I usually don't overspeed like this. Let's back down on this a little bit. Just descend a little bit slower, so that we're not speeding up so much. Get the altimeter.
Hotel Tango. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
The altimeter's just changing like incredibly.
1.0. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Turn left heading 160.
Yeah, you're just gonna annoy me the whole way there, I have a feeling. But I guess that's just what we're gonna have to deal with. So let's switch this over to nav 1, and we do have a signal. We'll come down here.
Cessna Charlie 6 Victor Mike Golf. Nassau Center.
Yep.
Roger. Altimeter 2939.
Let's acknowledge that instruction. Oops. Acknowledge that instruction.
Heading 160. Romeo Echo Victor.
And with that barometric pressure's increasing, it means we're getting out. And it was, by the way, guys, definitely less rain and whatnot on the south side of this storm. So pretty accurate in that respect.
Hotel Tango, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2954.
We need to get our
Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0. 121.0 for Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango.
Yeah, it's a bit dangerous to fly through a storm. Sorry, I've been trying to figure out the darn ILS frequency that I have to land on here, so I wasn't
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
where I normally can see the chat. I was looking for the ILS, which would have probably been a good chart to have out from before I landed. So let's acknowledge that.
Heading 205. Romeo Echo Victor Echo
Let's
Romeo.
increase our speed a bit.
Cessna Victor Mike Golf. Turn right heading 045.
Let's see what current active weather says. Wind's variable at 99. I think we're just going to run into the ground here at some point.
Nassau Center, Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango with you.
Yeah, that barometric pressure is coming up nicely.
Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter
What is
2956.
altitude beeping?
Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
Where are we at in the world, too?
Caution,
Let's,
terrain.
Romeo Echo Victor
Caution,
Echo Romeo.
terrain.
Turn left heading 160.
I feel like there's just too much happening.
Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango.
I haven't even opened up my checklist.
Cessna Victor Mike Golf. Turn left heading 035. Nassau Center, US Air 1045.
Alright, let's get our check sheet out. At least we'll get something done on it. Alright, so when we're at 10,000 feet cruise, we're going to come down here. Alright, we already descended. We don't have to worry about that one too much.
Turn right heading 220.
Okay, 220. She's not making it any easier, making me turn every 30 seconds
Nassau
here.
Center, Cessna Charlie 6 Juliet Hotel Tango with you 10,000.
But I'm blowing around so much.
6 Juliet Hotel Tango.
Alright, so let's
Nassau
knock
Center,
down the
Roger.
speed
Altimeter
quite a bit.
2956.
So we're
Romeo
holding
Echo Victor
3,000.
Echo Romeo. Turn right heading 245. Cessna Juliet Hotel
So,
Tango. Contact Nassau approach on
445.
121.0. Cessna Juliet Hotel Tango. Turn right heading 2.
Alright, so what do we want to do here? We got our altimeter set as best I can. It's just it's changing so fast I can't keep up with it. We're going to put on our external lights. Seatbelt signs are always on. We've had the ice protection has been on. What is our speed? Got to keep an eye on that so we don't slow down too much. Now that we're at altitude. Alright, so we actually put this to the wrong. Well, they want us. I don't know what she's having us do with this turn. Alright, so that's on 54. I guess we want this on 27. I'm Not sure what we're exactly supposed to do with that ILS. And then circle to go to 27. I'm not sure what to make of that. I mean, if anything, 14, which way is the wind coming from?
Turn left, heading 170. US Air 1049.
Variable. Yeah, this is just going to be interesting no matter what. I wish I could just tell her I want to just come in.
Beach, Golf, Yankee, Quebec, Quebec, Juliet, ready to copy IFR clearance, North Caicos. Beach, Golf, Yankee, Quebec, Quebec, Juliet, cleared to North Caicos Airport file. Climb and maintain 13,000. Departure frequency is 125.7, squawk 7205, clearance void 30 minutes.
The worst part is we're now only 20 miles away. I kind of have no orientation with where I'm at.
Beach, Golf, Yankee, Quebec, Quebec, Juliet, cleared to North Caicos Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 13,000. Departure is
Alright, well, you're going to be talking for a while.
Clock 7205.
Set ILS running. Yeah.
Quebec, Quebec, Juliet, feedback correct. Turn left.
Alright, so we did the ILS, though. I'm kind of confused about this instruction. It's not a good time to be confused about the instruction.
Turn right, heading 245.
She keeps telling me to turn so much that I can't hardly get anything else concentrated on before I'm turning again. And then trying to acknowledge her instructions with everybody else talking.
245. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
We just went through this part of the list. Vectors fine. Heading bug set, autopiloting, arc do, and we did that with the volume here. Get this switch back over. Altimeters, yeah, we're going to just start getting some stuff done, or else we're just going to forget to do it in all this switching. Alright, acknowledge handoff. Well, that's why she didn't talk to me for so long. Right, let's speed up a little bit.
US Air 1049er, turn left, heading 175. Small 85, have the traffic. Small 85, traffic is 4 o'clock, 4 miles.
Alright, so we're 10 miles away yet? No, we're 19 miles away. I really don't know what we're supposed to do. Finally, we're to Nassau approach. What is? So at least we got a barometric pressure reading from them. Alright, so what else are we doing? We are flaps. Yeah, we're not 10 miles away yet.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn left, heading 195. Cessna 06, Juliet, Hotel Tango, Nassau approach, Roger, altimeter.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping these winds would die down a little bit, but we're still having 99 mile per hour headwind, so. And it looks like it's coming from like 200 and something right now. So let's go here.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Did you hear my last transmission?
Yep, I did it, but I just didn't acknowledge you because I'm starting to get a headache from turning left and right every 2 minutes or less.
195. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn right, heading 250. Turn right, heading 250. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, now let's turn right, 250.
125.7.
Can't see anything. We're at 3,000 feet. I just as soon come in. Look, they won't let me. I think we're on ILS 14. try visual runway 27, but I don't know. We're just going to fly along and see what happens. We got plenty of fuel, so if we fail the first time, as long as we don't crash. Let's do something else here. Direct destination 5. Enter. Okay, close that. So now that'll. So the airport, you know, is just to the west of us. No, I'm sorry, we're facing west, to the south of us. Oh me, oh my. While before they did that. I was just looking at the chart, seeing this is a sharp turn here.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 19 miles northwest, turn left, heading 175, descend and maintain 1,700, cleared ILS, runway 14, approach, maintain 1,700, still established on the local line. Contact Nassau Tower on 119.5. Turn left, heading 175, descend.
So I'm going to change this course here to 141.
Runway 14, approach, maintain 1,700, still established. Tower on 119.5. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, 141, let's tune over.
Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is 17 miles northwest.
Alright, we're gonna get
runway 14.
We're gonna get some lights on.
Runway 27. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Nassau
Keep the
Tower.
flaps down for now, or up for now.
Altimeter 2938. Flight right downwind, runway 27. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Craziness. Inner right traffic, runway 27. I don't know what that means. That's what I was trying to look for a chart. I would have had more time to look for charts if they would have left me alone a little bit when it came to see, I'm not seeing anything. Let's slow down some. See, I'm not on an ILS. I don't have the ground slope. I'm looking through these charts, but I don't see anything about spinning around and going to 27, so you know, these charts don't even mention looking at the right, yeah, 14 and 9. Opposite 9 should be 27. Runway 32. Here we go. No. Runway 9. Nope, none of these charts have anything about what you're supposed to do that I can figure out while I'm flying here. Enter right traffic, runway 27. But we're going to declare missed approach.
Echo Victor, Echo Romeo is going missed. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, contact Nassau approach on 121.0. 121.0 for Romeo, Echo
Hopefully they'll
Victor,
give us
Echo
something
Romeo.
different as far as an approach goes.
Nassau approach, Viper Charlie 6, Juliet Hotel Tango, with 10,000. Viper Charlie 6, Juliet Hotel Tango, Nassau approach, Roger, altimeter 28901. Nassau approach, Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo is missed approach at Nassau. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, you are 14 miles north, turn left heading 355, descend and maintain 2000, expect vectors ILS, runway 14, approach, circle to land, runway 27, Viper Juliet Hotel Tango.
Yeah, I need to figure out what circle to land means.
125.7 for Viper Juliet Hotel Tango. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, turn left heading 325, descend and maintain 2000. Please stand by, Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo.
I want to try
Romeo,
something
Echo
else.
Victor,
It's
Echo
just
Romeo,
because I don't know what
Roger.
I'm doing. Let's just try... Are we stalling?
Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo would like visual, runway 27, approach. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, you are 16 miles northeast, turn right heading 090, descend and maintain 2000, expect vectors, visual, runway 27, approach.
Let's go.
Romeo
Oh,
Echo
we lost
Victor,
our
Echo Romeo,
autopilot.
turn right heading 100, descend and maintain 2000.
See, we're losing
Speed
it again.
Tango
Let's
Alpha X-ray,
start actually...
higher speed, resume on navigation.
look, if we're just a little lower, we can see what was going on.
125.7.
Alright, let's get the autopilot on. Let's hit altitude select. Let's drop down. I can't pay attention to everything at once.
American 3450. You are 2
So now we're speeding way too fast. Let's do this. Let's get out of this cruise mode.
Runway 14.
We're going to go to maximum thrust. And bleeds, we can take those off. It's low enough.
US Air 1049er, pass
Alright, so let's just get stabilized here.
US Air
I don't know what...
1049er, you are 20
Turn right heading...
northwest, turn left heading 185, descend and maintain 1700, cleared ILS, runway 14, approach, maintain 1700.
See, we're not the only one flying around here in the Hurricane.
Contact Nassau Tower on 119.5.
Alright, so turn right, descend and maintain 2000. I like that, because I think I could see stuff at 2000.
Clear ILS, runway 14, approach, maintain 1700 until established. Tower on 119.5, US Air 1049.
Let's just hit that. Let's get rid of this for a second. Alright.
Turn right heading 100, descend and maintain 2000. Expect vectors visual, runway 27, approach. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Contact Nassau Center on 125.7. Viper Juliet Hotel Tango. Descend and maintain 2000. Descend and maintain 2000. Viper Juliet Hotel Tango. Going to 125.7. Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Nassau Center, Romeo Echo Victor, Echo Romeo is out of 2,600 for 2,000.
Oh look, we only got an 85 mile per hour wind now.
Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2937.
Only 85.
Nassau Center.
So we were just pegged at 99 for most of the trip here.
Northwest of Mike Yankee Echo Hotel. Request IFR to Melbourne, ready to copy. Victor Quebec Tango Papa X-ray is cleared to Melbourne Airport is filed. Squawk 036.
Alright. So let's just go back through all that stuff and Turn right heading 90, descend and maintain 2000, visual, okay, so we got visual runway 27. So let's take this course back over to 27. And see if we can't make it in this time. Even though I can't see anything here at 2,000 feet. Alright, so now we got the course set at 27. Let me just see if I get a better heading. The thing I don't understand is these charts that I'm looking at, from whatever website this is, doesn't have anything about runway 27, period. It's like they don't ever land on runway 27 for some reason. The flight sim is insisting that I land on 27. Go back to is that what we want? No, we're just gonna have to wing this. Got VFR anyway, so let's look at the VFR chart and see if that helps us at all.
Nassau Center, Mall, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, with you. Mall, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2938.
There's, oh, that is Sky Vector.
Mall, Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot. Contact Nassau approach, Sun 121.0.
I know Sky Vector will give me the runway heading anyway.
Romeo Foxtrot.
Even if it doesn't give me ILS. So they want us to come in on a non-ILS runway. I guess because the winds... Yeah, I can see why they're doing this to us. Alright, so what is the direction? Heading 927, 278. What are we stalling because we leveled off? And let's get the autopilot back on. Yeah, we're only, now what are we doing? Climbing. Let's go to altitude select. Vertical speed down a little bit. Alright, let's slow down the motors a bit. Alright, look, we can see something.
Nassau Center, Mall, Charlie
Let me
6
see.
Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
The airport's way back over that way.
Mall, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, Nassau Center.
How far away are we? 37 miles. Will you please tell us the turn? Did you tell us the turn when I board you?
121.0. 121.0. Mall, Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
Yeah, I'm really not liking this,
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo,
there.
Romeo. Turn right
Not
heading
losing patience with
230.
you.
Turn right heading 230. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
37 miles. There's plenty to line up, you would think. Oops, that's me. Too far? Alright. Well, at least we can see. Our decision altitude would be 1,000 feet.
Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, with you 10,000. Mall, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, Nassau Center, Roger.
Not sure why they brought us so far out.
Mall, Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot. Contact Nassau approach, Sun 121.0.
Let's get rid of that thing for a little bit.
121.0 for Mall, Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
Doesn't look that bad, but you know. What is our winds?
Nassau Nassau Center, small, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
39, so the winds dropped down
Charlie 6
significantly.
Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2919er.
See, if we hit this, it just takes us to this thing, and you still can't select a runway, so you would think you'd be allowed to select your own
Small,
runway.
Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot. Contact Nassau approach, sun
Maybe not,
121.0.
but certainly in a hurricane, you should be allowed to select
Going
your
at
own.
121.0. Small, Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot.
Alright, well, we're just going to have to see. Let's fast forward a little bit since we're
Nassau Center,
so far
Beach,
out.
Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo. Beach, Charlie 6 Foxtrot, Romeo. Beach, Charlie 6
Runway should be
Foxtrot,
somewhere over that way.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Foxtrot. Reset
see
correct.
land at this
Radar
point.
contact. Turn right, heading 145. Resume on navigation. Climb and maintain.
How are we doing on
1,000.
speeds?
Beach,
Kind of too
Foxtrot,
fast.
Small, 85 Papa. Going at 121.0.
Slow down a tad.
Small, 85 Papa.
Don't usually come in with the max propeller setting. But then again, I don't normally come in when the winds were 99. So let's see if they pick back up as we get over here. Clouds are picking back up. That's no good. Yes, I'm not sure how you're supposed to. Why wouldn't you just come in a visual 27 approach? I'm not sure what the advantage is to coming in on an ILS and then having to go find another runway that's almost in the opposite direction.
Nassau Center, small, November 1185 Papa, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter
Rather just come in at the 27, but we'll see what happens here. Speed's not too bad. We're still fast forwarding. And we're getting close to 20 miles out. We'll start slowing down.
Nassau Center, small,
Slow down the
Charlie
fast
6
forward.
Foxtrot, Romeo Foxtrot, Nassau Center, Roger. Altimeter 2924.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, a 36 mile per hour wind is nothing to
Romeo,
laugh at.
Echo
But
Victor, Echo Romeo. Contact Nassau Marine 352. You are 400 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 360. Going to 121.0. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Nassau Center, Kuiper, Charlie 6, Lima Tango, Lima, IFR, Lake, Yankee, X-ray, Golf, ready to copy. Nassau approach, Romeo, Echo Victor,
let's
Echo
start.
Romeo.
Well, still 20 miles out. 36 mile per hour headwind.
Hotel Tango, please expedite your descent to 2000. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo. Nassau approach, Roger. Altimeter 2923. Piper,
I'll tell you what, that barometer's barometer has been all over the place.
2000. Cessna, Moffett Romeo uniform. Please expedite your descent to 2000. Turn left to heading 255. Descend and maintain 2000. Piper,
Lightning
Juliet,
up
Hotel
ahead.
Tango.
But I think that's further ahead than the runway. Yeah, look at all these people flying through hurricanes. We're not the only ones.
Cessna, Moffett Romeo uniform.
I think I'm going to
Please
move this
expedite
back
your
up
descent to 2000.
where it belongs, so to speak. Let's get this back in shape, too.
Piper, Juliet, Hotel Tango, please expedite your descent to 2000.
So we should be...
Cessna, Moffett Romeo uniform, please expedite your descent to 2000. Cessna, Moffett Romeo uniform, turn left heading 155, descend and maintain 2000. Piper, Juliet, Hotel Tango, please expedite your descent to 2000.
That runway's running this way. You would think he'd have us turning awful soon.
155, descend and maintain 2000. Cessna, Moffett Romeo uniform.
Maybe a little bit further, I guess. Runway should be right over there.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Yeah, there we
Turn
go.
right heading 250. Turn right heading 250. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Piper, Juliet, Hotel Tango.
Alright, so we're getting
Please
close
expedite
enough
your
with
descent
enough
to
bad
2000.
weather. Let's get this closed. Let's get my check sheet back up.
Piper Juliet Hotel Tango. Turn right.
Give it
heading
5 degrees of
300.
flaps.
Descend and
We've had our
maintain
auxiliary
2000.
stuff on for too long, thinking we were going to land before.
300. Descend and maintain 2000. Piper Juliet
Let's
Hotel
slow down to
Tango.
160
Cessna
knots.
Papa Romeo uniform. Turn right heading 200. Turn right heading 200. Cessna Papa Romeo uniform.
Let's notify them to put on their seat belts. Even though I would have had mine on this whole flight guaranteed. And if you hit
Cabin crew, please take your seats.
cabin crew, please take your seats.
Piper Juliet Hotel Tango. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
Alright, we're down to 160, so we're doing pretty good speed. Altitude bug is going to be set for 2000, which is fine.
Cessna Papa Romeo uniform. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
We're not on ILS, so taxi lights on.
Piper Juliet Hotel
Yeah,
Tango.
we turned all those on earlier, unfortunately, and just forgot to turn them off in all of our excitement. Landing gear down.
Cessna Papa Romeo uniform. Please expedite your descent to 2000. Cessna Papa Romeo uniform.
Losing a bit of
Turn
speed,
left
but that's
heading
okay.
135. Descend and maintain 2000.
Now we're getting back into the
Turn
stupid
left
clouds.
heading 135, descend and maintain 2000. Cessna Papa Romeo uniform.
Piper Juliet Hotel Tango. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
So hopefully we can find this runway through the clouds. What do we got to do here? Set runway heading. We'll worry about that later. Flaps.
Piper Juliet
Probably
Hotel
set these a
Tango.
little
Please
sooner, but
expedite your
it's
descent
too
to
early yet.
2000.
Coming in fairly low, or normal, 2000. So we should really be starting our descent probably about 8 miles out. We're stalling again, which means we lose our
Cessna Romeo
autopilot.
uniform. Turn right heading 200. Cessna Papa Romeo uniform. Turn right heading 235. Piper Juliet
Let's
Hotel
do-
Tango. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
Altitude select.
Turn right
Rest
heading
our
235.
climb.
Cessna Papa Romeo uniform.
You know what? I remember that speed going down. Just kind of forgot about it. All right, 11 miles out.
Altimeter setting.
Piper Juliet Hotel Tango. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
We're still climbing.
Cessna Papa Romeo uniform. Please
Yeah,
expedite your
why don't you
descent
just
to
give up on
2000.
him for a minute here?
Cessna Papa Romeo uniform. Turn left heading 160. Descend and maintain 2000. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Your report is 11 miles at your 1 o'clock. Turn right heading 275.
Altimeter
Report
setting.
runway in sight. Piper Juliet Hotel Tango.
All right,
Please
let's see if
expedite
we
your
can see
descent
this
to
thing.
2000. Piper Juliet Hotel Tango. Turn right heading 310. Descend and maintain
Condition
2000.
levers for max.
Turn right heading 310.
Bleeds to
Descend and
minimum.
2000. Piper Juliet Hotel Tango.
That's about it, other than getting the flaps and the landing gear down. So
Descend and maintain 2000. Cessna Papa Romeo
let's
uniform.
close this thing.
Altimeter setting.
Let's turn this
Cessna
guy
Papa Romeo uniform. Turn right heading 240.
so where I can see this as well as
Right
possible.
heading 240. Cessna Papa Romeo uniform.
Looks like it's straight ahead of
Piper
us.
Juliet Hotel Tango. Please expedite your descent to 2000.
We're going to start descending. But first, let's get the landing gear down. Now we're going way too fast. I'll tell you what, oh, look at that 105 mile per hour
Altimeter
wind.
setting.
Are you kidding me? I didn't even think it'd go up to 105. It was pegged
Romeo
at 99 the
Echo
whole
Echo
rest of the
Romeo.
time.
Please acknowledge. Piper Juliet Hotel
Actually,
Tango.
acknowledge if
Please
somebody else
expedite
is
your descent to 2000.
Turn right heading 275. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
I'm trying to keep an eye on the speed. Once the speed gets down a bit,
Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo. Turn left heading 215.
215. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15.
can't see. Alright, I'm gonna get those flaps down. I'm gonna acknowledge that instruction.
Heading 215, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
I'm going to drop my altitude despite whatever they say. Let's drop down to 1,000 feet.
Romeo uniform.
Altimeter
Let's do
setting.
vertical speed. 1,000. Altitude select. Hopefully we get down out of these clouds. Going awful
Romeo, Echo,
slow-ish.
Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 300 below your assigned
Yeah, I know, but I need to try to get down below the clouds here, if that's possible.
Altimeter 289er.
I'm only 5 miles out. Alright, let's turn
Altimeter
back
setting.
towards the runway, because he's not going to give me another instruction.
Cessna, Papa Romeo uniform. Turn right heading 240. Turn right heading 240. Cessna, Papa Romeo uniform.
Yeah, that's just a huge wind from left to right.
1,000.
I can kind of see something.
215, climb and maintain.
So we're going to take our
Altimeter
chances.
setting.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to see this runway. Alright, let's take the autopilot off. Drop down, give it some speed.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please expedite your
Altimeter
climb to
setting.
2000. Piper, Juliet, Hotel, Tango. Turn right heading 310. Descend and maintain 2000. Cessna,
The
Papa
runway
Romeo
should
uniform.
be...
Turn left heading 190.
What is our altitude? I can't even see the altitude because the yoke is in the
Piper,
way.
Juliet, Hotel, Tango. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please expedite your climb to 2000. Turn left heading
500.
I see it.
Cessna, Papa Romeo uniform.
Is that a runway light up ahead of us? Could be,
Piper,
but
Juliet, Hotel, Tango. Turn left heading 230.
there's something
Papa
green
Romeo uniform. Turn
red
right
up there.
heading 265. Piper, Juliet, Hotel, Tango. Turn right heading 315. Romeo, Echo,
I see
Victor,
something
Echo,
right
Romeo.
there.
Plus 100.
Expedite your climb to 2000.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to report the runway in sight, so you will leave me alone for a second.
Piper, Juliet,
Yeah, there's
Hotel,
just no
Tango.
way.
Turn right heading 355. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 4 miles northeast. Turn right heading 240. Climb and maintain 2000. Cleared visual.
Caution,
Runway
taxiway.
27.
Minimums.
Caution, taxiway.
Minimums.
Nassau Tower on
I'm pulling up.
Too low.
119.5.
Flaps.
Yeah, there's just no way. I'm just about to crash. Alright, full throttles.
500.
Go around. Yeah, there's just no way we're landing there.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
1,000.
Acknowledge.
And they won't let me come in on the ILS, which I don't even know if that would help in this case.
Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo,
Let's
Romeo.
stop turning so
3
much.
miles northeast. Inbound visual, runway 2.
Alright, let's get the heading bug brought around.
Nassau Tower, flight right, base runway 27, altimeter 2887.
Altimeter setting.
Alright, so we got some altitude now, so let's
2,500.
turn the autopilot back on to heading,
Runway 27.
heading, and then we're going to select an altitude that we're at already. Altitude, select the altitude 3,000, vertical speed.
Romeo, Echo,
Vertical
Altimeter
speed.
setting.
Do you hear my last transmission?
I'm really concentrating on not hitting the ground, lady. What are you telling me to do? Clear to you know, I can't land on runway 27.
Cleared to land, runway
I was just trying to get you guys to be quiet for a minute. It wasn't really working. Look at that, now I can see. Alright. Well, we're past the runway anyhow. Let's see if we can't turn. Just use the autopilot to turn. See if we can see any runway at this point. Or is it as soon as we turn, we're gonna run right into the same crap again? Look, I mean, I could land in this all day long if I want to land in that field. Keep turning.
Altimeter setting.
Runway looks like it's in this direction. It's the wind. Wind is 93 miles per hour, more or less a headwind right now. Yeah, so they won't let me pick the darn runway that I want. So is that it right below us?
Altimeter setting.
Yeah, look, there it is. Now we can see it plain as day.
Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is going missed. Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is unfamiliar with the area. Request directions.
So what happened? Like,
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
now we have about a headwind. Why don't we land on this runway, whatever that one is?
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Airport is 12 o'clock, 1 mile.
Altimeter setting.
Going to 121.0. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright. Well, now I can see the runway fine. I don't know why I couldn't see it coming from the other direction, so we'll have to...
Nassau approach. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is missed approach at Nassau. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 1 mile northwest. Turn right, heading 040. Descend and maintain 2000. Expect vectors visual. Runway 27. Approach.
Look, now we get into these clouds.
Setting.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn right, heading 070. Descend and maintain 2000.
070.
Approach Pacifica 576.
Altitude, vertical speed, 1,000, 1,100. Let's make it.
Nassau approach. Roger. Altimeter 2922.
Altimeter setting.
Right heading 070. Descend and
Alright, well this is pretty strange, and I'm not sure what to do about it because they won't give me another runway. And that's a bit frustrating. What is the...
Pacifica 5768.
There's the airport we're going into. So it's variable at 99 anyway, so I don't understand why I can't pick another runway. So we may just, for the sake of going to bed tonight, going to work tomorrow, have to, if we don't find it this time, we're just going to spin around and land from the other direction where I can see perfectly fine.
Runway 14 approach, maintain 1,700, tow established. Tower on 119.5, Pacifica 5768.
See, that's just approaches. They won't let me select a runway. Sometimes they let you select another runway. We'll go... Yeah, we're just going to try this one more time. So let me speed up a bit, because they're just driving us away from the airport right now. Start getting spun around the other way.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn right, heading 150. Turn right, heading 150. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, let's see if we can't see this time. How's our speed doing? Kind of too fast, huh? Let's slow down. Landing at 98 mile per hour winds. It's going to be hard enough without the clouds. And that should probably get our speed decent. See, right now that wind is going this way. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because 27 is this way. So it's not like we're getting lined up. As a matter of fact, isn't there another runway? Like, what's the other runway? Over here. So we got what? 927.
Victor, Echo, Romeo, you're 300 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 2000. Altimeter 2951.
Well, now I mean, this altimeter is. The altimeter's been like all over the place through this whole flight.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Acknowledge last transmission. Descend and maintain 2000. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Fast forwarded. I can't see anything. And then as soon as we got past the airport, we could see fine. Kind of crazy. What did that say about the airport? We got a different airport here. Yeah, broken at 3,000. It's just like right over the airport I want to go to. See, now we can see again. So hopefully,
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn right.
we got plenty of fuel. Too much fuel, really.
Turn right, heading 210. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Let's try this again. Oops, went way too far. Now we're back in the clouds. What is my caution light? Oh, flap drive. You don't want to be flying around with flaps on the whole time. That doesn't help, does it?
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 300 below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 2000. Altimeter 2923. Climb and maintain 2000. Romeo, Echo, Victor,
See that?
Echo,
Like
Romeo.
they just told me 2.5. Now they got us down to 2.3. The only thing I'm hoping that means is Active Sky is updating things, and updating things might mean clouds going away. Alright, so we're not quite on the final approach, but we are heading back towards the runway. Oh, look at that. I think we could see here before, couldn't we? Yeah, we saw these islands before. We were a little further out last time, coming more this way. Can you imagine living on an island like that with a hurricane's coming by? I mean, you know, looks like a big wave just knock you right off into the ocean. I guess they must evacuate. You couldn't think you'd stay there. Alright, let's hope for another better approach. Now, do we get the... Well, we got that other airport.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn right, heading 255.
Alright,
Turn right, heading
255 it is.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
This is kind of crazy. Because it looks like there's just nothing but clouds right over that airport still. So like I said, we may just try to do VFR and bring it down. Hopefully nobody else is landing coming from the other direction, right? I can still see though. Hopefully we don't get like fogged out when we get close. We're 13 miles, so let's get some flaps on. Flying around with landing, yeah. See, look, as soon as I put the flaps down, must be the flaps fogging up the windows. We really need to kind of put those out at a little bit of a high speed there. The plane's a pretty rugged plane as far as the flap speeds go. Oh, but look, I got them on 30. I don't want them on 30. Thought I retracted them. We'll leave them on 15 for now. Landing gear's been down. We're all ready to land.
Altimeter setting.
I don't know what you want me to do about the altimeter setting. It keeps changing. Let's see if we can't get... That's not our airport still. So is this zoomed in? Yeah, that's... Oop, sorry. This is zoomed in all the way, 10 miles, so we're close. It doesn't make a lot of sense though.
Altimeter setting.
Let's see, can we change it? Oh, there we go. I was going to say, that didn't make a lot of sense. So we're 10 miles away. We're all ready to land. Can't see anything.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Your report is at your 1 o'clock, 10 miles. Turn right, heading 270. Report runway in sight.
So we're going to do 270, which we just kind of missed.
Altimeter setting.
And we got a 90 mile per hour wind, so we're going to... Which runway? We're going to adjust as best
Romeo,
we can.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Please acknowledge.
Alright, I'm going to acknowledge that.
270. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Try to get that heading.
Altimeter setting.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn left,
Now, you know what?
heading 235. Nassau approach. Please repeat transmission for Romeo.
I'm just
Echo,
going to tell them
Victor,
runway's
Echo,
in sight, so it
Romeo,
lets me
Echo,
go do what
Victor,
I need
Echo,
to
Romeo.
do.
Turn left, heading 225. Turn left, heading 225. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Romeo,
So if
Echo,
I do that,
Victor,
at least
Echo,
he'll just
Romeo.
leave me alone
Runway in
about...
sight. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 8 miles
So
east.
we're going to try to
Turn
drop
left,
down.
220, climb and maintain.
Altimeter
Now,
setting.
800 feet.
Visual, runway 27, approach.
Do it
Contact
at
Nassau Tower on
900 feet per
119.45.
minute. Altitude select. Let's back down on the throttles a bit.
Turn left, heading 220, climb and maintain 2000. Cleared visual, runway 27, approach. Tower on 119.5. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Just turning the wrong way.
Altimeter
Turn this
setting.
way a bit. Because it looks like you know, I need to be over more to the right. Now look, see that thing switched right back. Now I see the ground a little bit here. Why does that thing switch back? I really want that close view. Yeah, it should be right straight ahead of us. More or less.
1,000.
Slow down some more.
Altimeter setting.
I see ground anyway. I see water. Let's turn.
500.
Yeah, this just isn't happening, is it? Oh, did I forget to hit altitude select? Let's hit altitude. Should hold us there. Let's get these throttles up. Nope. Not seeing anything. Not at all lined up with that runway. But the winds did drop down a lot, which they did before. Yeah, see, we keep getting further and further blown to the see some lights down there. Why is our altitude going up? Is it just because we're getting blown that much? Is it because I increased the throttles too much? Yeah, this is just pea soup. There's no way we're lined up with that runway. We are heading right towards the airport, it looks like. Turn more. Keep that runway right ahead of me. Picking up the ILS from 14. They won't let me land on that, so maybe we'll just do it on our own. Yep, there it is. Not even close to lined up with the runway now. Alright, well, let's just do this on our own. Look, there you go. So if we can get lined up with a runway that's not in the clouds until we get here, we should be fine. So let's just plan on, you know, we should probably tune to them, huh?
Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is 1 mile.
Alright, so let's climb up a little bit.
Inbound visual, runway 27.
Go back up to 2,000.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Nassau Tower, make right traffic,
Do
runway
IAS.
27.
Let's give it some throttle. Should climb up there nicely.
Light right downwind, runway 27. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is going missed.
Alright, so we're going to come in on 14 for better or for worse because we have ILS and maybe we'll be able to see the airport
Going to
for better or for worse.
1.0. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
1,000.
Nassau approach, Romeo,
Alright,
Echo,
so in order to
Victor,
line up
Echo,
with
Romeo,
14,
dismissed approach at
Altimeter
Nassau.
setting.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. You are 2
you know what, we're
miles
gonna-
southwest, turn left, heading
let's see if we
130,
can't-
climb and maintain 2,000.
What's wrong way?
Expect vectors, visual, runway
let's just
27,
keep that runway in
approach.
sight. We're going to spin back around. This way.
Turn left, heading 130.
We're gonna cancel
climb
him,
and maintain
yeah,
2,000.
as soon as he gives us a
Expect
chance
vectors,
there.
Visual, runway 27, approach. Romeo,
Altimeter
Echo,
setting.
Victor, Echo, Romeo. Nassau approach, Romeo, Echo, Victor.
So
Echo,
27
Romeo.
seems like a good
Cancel
runway
FR.
for the wind,
Romeo,
so
Echo,
we're
Victor, Echo,
just
Romeo.
gonna try to get lined up on it from this
Cancel
side
IFR.
instead of the approach they keep giving us.
Affirmative, cancel IFR. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Romeo, Echo,
Yeah, look at us
Victor,
picking up
Echo,
ground
Romeo.
speed.
IFR
We're
flight
turning
plan
this way.
canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved.
Altimeter setting.
Request flight following.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is type.
Alright, so there's runway 27, so it looks like we're flying you know,
Romeo,
downwind
Echo
leg
Victor,
here.
Romeo, Nassau approach, squawk 0021.
Can we see it? It should be behind us a little bit.
Altimeter setting.
We'll fly away and then turn around.
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo
Yeah, I
Romeo.
did copy, but I was looking at the airport.
0021. Romeo, Echo
Yeah, it looks like we'll be able to
Victor,
see
Romeo.
for some reason coming in from this
Romeo, Echo
direction.
Victor, Echo
2500.
Romeo. Radar contact 4 miles east of
Looks like we're
Nassau,
climbing because I never hit
2400.
altitude select.
Altimeter
So let's
2881.
do descend. Watch our speed.
Copy. Romeo, Echo
Altimeter
Victor, Echo
setting.
Romeo.
Let's watch our speed. We still have our landing gear and flaps.
Nassau Tower, Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo is 6 miles east with Mike to land. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo
Altimeter
Romeo,
setting.
Nassau Tower.
Alright, well guess what? We're gonna go violating it because I need to go to bed tonight and I need to land this airplane sometime before I go to bed. So let's go get in trouble with the FAA or whatever they have in the Bahamas. Go about, let's say, what, 10 miles out? See, that wind is really in this direction.
Altimeter
We'll see
setting.
what happens here. Alright, well now that we're getting into the clouds, let's... We're facing the opposite direction of the runway. I want to turn to the right. Alright, let's spin around all the way to the right. See if we can't just bring this thing in. I don't know if you guys can hear that wind. I can hear it in my headset.
Altimeter
Look,
setting.
now we're doing like, oh, we're slowing down a lot. There we go. Whoa, we're slowing down a lot. Crazy. Alright, there's 270. And that should be kind of close to a headwind. We'll see what happens. Now we're going to drop our altitude
Altimeter
down.
setting.
Coming low, so hopefully we can see. Let's drop down at 800. Altitude select. Drop the throttle back down. So we're only doing 100. We're doing 170, but it's only a 110 ground speed.
Altimeter setting.
Alright, we're about 10 miles out. Full flaps, well not full flaps, but 15 degrees of flaps. If we go into full flaps, we're probably just gonna like hover like an airport. Certainly you could hover your Cessna over the runway today. Which probably wouldn't really be a good thing. Alright, so now
Altimeter
I
setting.
want to turn back this way, so. Though it does say we're doing 269, so let's just stay on this for a minute. And our speed's awful kind of high. Is there just no way we're approaching 27? And why does this distance thing keep changing on me?
1,000.
Altimeter setting.
Alright, we're going to try to stay lined up with this runway. So let's take it off of autopilot. Well, I don't know if I want to do that. See, the runway's now straight ahead of us, so let's... We're not quite lined up with it.
Altimeter setting.
Yeah, I don't know what to put the altimeter at. 281. 2881. Jeez Louise. I can't see anything. Yeah, well, next time we may just do like
Altimeter
some crazy
setting.
maneuver. And we're still, even with all this turning, we're still getting off of that runway. You know, I want this to be lined up with the pink line. So like this angle, which is kind of hard to see, I need that lined up. Five miles out.
Altimeter setting.
We're at 1,000 feet. We're kind of close. We're, you know, we're steering what, 30, 40 degrees. We're at the
Altimeter
decision
setting.
altitude. We're like hovering right at it, so. Alright, well, let's drop down a little bit more, I guess. Let's go to 500. Just go like slowly down, maybe 600 feet per minute.
Altimeter setting.
Can't see anything. It's kind of crazy. And it's I don't know. The fact that you come in from the other direction and you can see fine. And this thing keeps switching on me. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I mean, I think the runway is just right over there if we ever get out of these clouds.
Altimeter setting.
Yeah, see, if you look at the direction, we're facing this way, but the plane is moving this way. There we go. So is there a runway? Oh, there it is. Alright, let's take it off of autopilot. I don't think I want to land at runway 27. It's like a complete crosswind. But I'm not sure that other runway's any better.
Nassau Tower, Airbus November 602, Quebec Lima is 7 miles northwest.
Alright, let's do flaps.
Runway
Full
14,
flaps.
approach, circle to land, runway 27.
Airbus November 602.
Flaps go down, yeah.
Altimeter setting.
Runway 27. Altimeter 2.
Let's drop some speed. What's the wind? 63. Look at this. This is like crazy. I mean, we're actually heading towards that runway.
Plus 100.
Come on, I can't even keep the runway. Come on.
Minimums.
Airbus 2, Quebec Lima.
Minimums.
Pull up.
On taxiway. On taxiway. On taxiway. On taxiway.
Oh man.
Airbus 2, Quebec Lima.
I can't believe that. I want to do a quick replay of that. Alright, let's hit, alright, let's get off the runway. Well, no, let's just go right to the replay thing. We'll be fine sitting here for a minute. Options, right? Yep, instant replay. Alright, replay length. Yeah, we gotta go back. Like, let's just go back. Well, let's try 120. Alright, let's get out of the airplane. I don't know what the best angle is. I always struggle for the best angle. This will probably be good because the run, whoops. Get it into pointing mode. Yeah, so if you, at some point here is when I took off the autopilot. But, you know, we're heading this direction. Like the way I'm facing is kind of the direction we're heading, and yet the plane's pointing over this way. I don't know. For me, that was a lot of fun. I don't know if it was, I mean, you know, we wrecked sideways. I was going, I don't know if you noticed, but I was just like going down the runway sideways. Probably as much a computer glitchy kind of thing, but look, there you go. Look at that. Look, I even had to turn it more. Yeah, see, that's where I turned it even more. Look. See, and then I tried to turn it back. And they're saying on taxiway, but I never hit the taxiway. Look at that. I actually hit at a pretty good spot on the runway, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't know if you could do any better than that. I mean, I'm sure there's guys who could, but all things considered, I'm kind of proud of that landing. Let's get back in the, yeah, I'm actually, you know, fairly proud of that. Alright, let's get off the runway. What's going on with my, did I break the plane? Oop, we're paused. How do we get paused? Whew. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was pretty crazy. But fun. Like I said, I did better than I thought I would. I mean, just the fact that I almost landed at the right spot on the runway. I don't think there's anything you can do. I don't think this plane's... Where are we going? Can't even see the... I think we're heading the wrong direction. At least I get that impression. So let's turn around and... Oh no, is that a... That looks like a tower over there. Maybe
On
we're
runway 27.
We'll go get these... Yeah, 960 some mile per hour crosswind. Now we're just out of control. That looks like a taxiway up there with the blue lights. And did you notice how short I stopped on that thing too? That was pretty amazing. When I stopped dead, you know, because I don't know what my ground speed was. I didn't notice it, but it wasn't a whole lot. All right, let's get off the runway. Stop here for a minute, recover, also get my check sheet out. Alright, so let's turn the landing lights off, taxi light is on, let's turn the collision to red, position lights on, we'll leave the logo and wing lights just because it's such a foul weather day, increase our visibility. Flight switch to taxi. flaps up. They're moving up. Yep. Control lock on. Fuel pumps and hydraulic systems, backup systems off. And we turn off all our ice protection. Ice protection is off. Yaw damper, anti-skid. Oops, wrong way. Yaw damper off. Pitot-static tubes, we just did those off. Autopilot standby, altitude bug to 0. Radar off. There we go. Alright, so now let's head back to, well, let's talk ground control. Go pay our fine for landing without permission.
Nassau ground, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, taxi to the gate. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, taxi to gate, call 10, via taxiway.
Sorry, I hit the
on
microphone.
Hotel, Lima 3.
Pretty good about not hitting that thing most of the
Taxi
time.
to gate, golf 10, using taxiway, Juliet, Foxtrot, Hotel, Lima 3, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Man, I'm actually kind of drained. That was kind of intense if you're the one flying it. So if you have the Active Sky Next, you can, reset the times and, fly through that yourself. Now, I kind of wonder why everything was just kind of locked in at 99. I'm not sure. I doubt that. I know the speeds of this Hurricane were like up to 120. Then at one point I saw 160 on the indicator on the FMS. So I'm not sure why we didn't see higher wind speeds on the flight over. But whatever, it was fun. I was sort of looking forward to doing this all day long. And once again, I've managed to, some long taxiways, I managed to spend like 5 hours making one of these videos, but I started at like 6 o'clock. It's now close to 11 my time. I'm going too fast. Yeah, well, that was a crazy fun landing. I think I'm going to go back and watch that one again on YouTube. Alright, let's slow down a bit. Let's see which way we're going up here. Pretty neat though, flying through a hurricane. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Turn this ground warning system. Yeah. Probably start turning, well, we don't want to turn that off. We'll probably turn our bleeds off. Oh, they are off. Recirculator off.
Approaching 14.
Hopefully nobody else is taking off at this moment. If I don't keep my head straight out of the cockpit, I have a hard time controlling the planes. Look, there's nobody else here. We're the only ones crazy enough to land. Now, I don't know. You would think... I don't know what's going on, because you would think that with the Traffic 360, we would have at least some planes in here. You know, if nothing else, you'd think... Yeah, it's kind of weird. And we haven't heard anything from air traffic control. I wonder if something broke through all that flying. Though it is probably, yeah, like you said, the planes might have got stuck. Nah, you know what? They would have got the planes out of there, wouldn't they, before the hurricane got there? They wouldn't leave them sit here unless they really had to, unless it was a broke down plane or something. Alright. We made it to the gates with the supplies for the hurricane people. Hurricane victims. Now we can shut down. Taxi lights off. Parking brake is on. We'll put this to feather. Let the engines cool down for a minute. Very good. Ice protection is all off. Well, we missed the wrong thing. Yeah, we turned down the hydraulic stuff, the pumps, the power disconnect. Yep, throttle's all the way down. In other words, the disconnect position versus the reverse position. Nose steering off. I guess that's in case they have to push the plane around. I don't know. Transponder, put it to standby. And we already had turned off the bleeds. They want us to go to the APU, but I'm not going to do that. That's auxiliary power unit. And then the anti-collision lights off, along with the logo lights and all these other lights, which we left on. Seatbelt lights off. And we'll get a message from the cabin to let the people out. You can open up the doors, Shift E. And that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. It was kind of crazy. I really enjoyed the landing, which is, I guess, in some ways the most fun. But it's now time for me to go to bed in real life. And I'm sure if I was the real pilot of this plane, I would need a break anyway. So I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. And take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.